Okay, so welcome everybody again. Welcome to today's Tech Tuesday. For those who are just tuning in right now, my name is Sharice Brown, and we're going to get started. And so let me just, okay, so we're going to dive into Microsoft Sway. And so what is Microsoft Sway? Microsoft Sway is an Office application that you can easily use to create your presentations, tutorials, newsletters, and more. But first, let me just rewind a little bit and say for today's agenda. So we're going to, of course, do an overview of Microsoft Sway, dive into the application. Then we're going to go into the live demo that's going to create a sway from scratch. And if we have enough time, I'll show you another method that you can use to create a sway. Designing your sway, additional sway features, and sharing your sway with your colleagues and others. And lastly, helpful resources, and then Q&A. So as I said, with Microsoft Sway, you can become a designer, right? You can create presentations, tutorials, and newsletters, and more. And so without further ado, let's dive in to Microsoft Sway. Now, before I dive in, I just want to mention that Microsoft Sway is free if you have a Microsoft Office account. And so let me just log in, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, since it opened my Outlook, let me just get rid of that. I'm going to the App Finder. I locate the application Sway, and here you go. Here is my home screen, okay? Now, before we actually dive into creating a new Sway from scratch, I just want to give you an idea of what a sway looks like when it's completed. So down here, these are all the sways that I have completed, okay, just to give you an idea, okay. So I'm going to click on the sway called Stress. Lately, many of us may have been experiencing stress. So right now I'm going to play it. I'm not going to edit, but I'm going to play it. And down at the bottom, you have your navigational button to forward. Okay. So don't let stress get the best of you. You don't want to get to this point, right? Where you're stressed out and you don't want to throw your laptop, but you, you feel like, you want to bite on it. You don't want to look like this either, right? Or this, or even this, where you can't concentrate. So what are some of the things that you can do? Take some deep breaths. That's definitely helpful. You can try yoga. Walking can be just as refreshing too. And again, this is all created with Sway. You can also read a good book. Sit on your couch, read a good book. Listening to music. This is one of my favorites as well. And then lastly, all of those things can help you stay calm and be in the Zen zone. So I'm going to click escape. Let me hit it again. For some reason, let's see. Let me go back to my sways. Okay, so I hit my sways to get back to the main screen. Now, how do you create the sway that we just watched? So I'm going to click on create new sway, okay? And so when you open up, this is your storyline. This is where you build your content. So it's intuitive because it says title your sway. So to replicate what we just saw, I'm typing in stress. I'm gonna click on background, okay? And then another pop-up section opens up over here. And so Sway gives you the opportunity to incorporate videos, images, etc. through Creative Commons. And so my topic I'm interested in is stress. So I'm going to click stress. Okay. And here's the image that I'm interested in using. So I can do one of two things. I can click on it and add it. Okay. Or the other way would be to click on it and drag and drop. So when I do a next and include another image, I'll actually drag and drop and show you. So I'm going to click in this box now. Okay, and this is still building my storyline. And this whole entire box here is called a card. So I'm going to highlight, or rather click on stress, and I want to bold it. So in Sway, in order to bold text, you click on emphasize, okay? If I wanted to, I can click on accent, and that's equivalent to in Word using the feature of italicize. So I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I have my first Sway card. So I'm going to continue to build my content. So I'm going to click this arrow here, this plus, not arrow, but this plus sign to insert more content. Okay, and this time I'm going to choose heading 1. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I want to add an image. So I'm going to click image. Okay. And matter of fact, I want to get rid of this. Say I made a mistake, right? So you click up here, the trash can box here to delete, okay? And I'm going to stick to image here. I already have stress up, okay? So I'm going to click on that image here, and I'm going to drag it and drop it. So that's my second image that I'm using, okay? Now in this box, I'm going to add the content, the text. So I'm going to say, don't let stress get the best of you, okay? Now I'm ready to continue to build my content. Click the plus. I'm going to say image. And this is my second image, okay? So I'm gonna, or my third image, I'm gonna drag and drop it. I'm gonna click plus again, image, and then I'm gonna look for that other image that I used. Here we go. And again, you have the choice of dragging and dropping it or coming up to the top and adding add. Okay. Continuing to build my content, I'm going to put in heading, and I'm going to type in try yoga. Okay. Click the plus again. Okay. And I'm going to say image. Now I'm going to go back up here at the top, okay? And I'm going to switch this out and put yoga so I can get images. Click the magnifying glass to search. And you have all of these wonderful images coming up of yoga. But I'm going to stick to the one that I use to show you from the demo. Here it is. And again, I'm going to drag and drop it. Continuing to build my content, I'm going to click plus. Okay. Going to click here and I'm going to put what else is also stress relieving. And I'm going to put read a book. No, actually, let's put in take a few breaths. Okay. Actually, take a few deep breaths. Okay. So this time I'm going to click the plus and I'm going to say upload because you can also upload content that you already have. And so from my downloads, I'm going to upload this image and then I'm getting it from Getty Images. I'm going to say open. Okay. And I actually selected the wrong image. So I'm going to say delete, right? I'm going to say add. I'm going to go back to upload. And I'm going to go to this one. I believe that's the correct image. Okay. So instead of building the whole entire sway from beginning to end, I'm going to say now I'm going to play it. Okay. All right. So now I scroll down. Okay. And here is my sway. Now, if I'm not satisfied with how it came out, I can go back to edit and I'm going to go to design and I'm going to click styles. And by default, it's set for vertical. And so I'm going to switch it to slides. And you would use slides if you're doing a similar to like a PowerPoint presentation, and the content will be horizontal for its layout. I'm also going to click on customize because this is where you'll have the opportunity to change the color, to change the font, or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is click here and let's click, I'm going to click here. Okay. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to change the font. Okay. So let's go to Courier New. Okay. Now you also have the capability of adding animation or animation emphasis. You can go from subtle to moderate to intense, and you can also change the text size. So you can do small, and then you can change it to normal. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna leave it at normal, and I'm gonna go back up and I'm gonna say play. Okay. So now you see how the sway plays, okay? When I made that little adjustment, okay, it changed the color, okay, of the font, okay. And I'm gonna go back, okay. Now, In the design feature, okay, if you don't like the way this sway comes out when you are finished, you have the opportunity to remix it. And what happens when you remix it, sway automatically will give you some options to add some pizzazz. So let's hit remix and let's see what remix has done for our sway. Okay. So now you see it changed it up just a little bit with the color of the font. And again, if you don't like this, you can go to remix just to show you again. And now they put stress up here, okay? And I'll just play it for you so you can see how Sway decided to mix it up. And it has changed not only stress appearing here, but it has switched it to horizontal. So I'm gonna play it. You always play. And it's put two of the pitches kind of lined up, okay? And the text is now adjacent to the image. So I'm gonna escape out of this and I'm gonna go back to my sway. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I definitely want to go over. You can create a new sway from scratch here. You can also create a new sway from here. Tutorials, you can click on tutorials and you can watch videos on sway. Down at the bottom, you have other options of how you can create a sway. Down here, you will see all of my sway activity. Okay, so here's the sway that I just created. Okay, and if you click here, you see you can either play your sway, you can share the link, or you can make a copy of this sway as the template. And if you decide to do that, it would come down here in your templates. You can actually view the different sways you have. You can look at the analytics, okay? And it gives you definitely the analytics for those that you have shared. And here are your deleted sways. Now, sometimes you may make a mistake and delete. If you delete any of your sways, you have 30 days to go in the recycle bin to not have them permanently deleted. So you can click on the sway that you don't want deleted and restore it. Some other features that I want to focus on is if you click on the ellipsis, okay, you can create, again, a new sway. And let me just go back into this sway that I created on stress. If you click the ellipsis, it gives you more options. So I could duplicate this sway. You can save as a template. You can even print it. And when you select print, it will print it as a PDF, okay? And then you can print this out and share it with colleagues. So I'm gonna cancel this. You also have the opportunity to export your sway. So you can export it into a Word or a PDF file. You also have the feature of accessibility checker. And let me just click on this, okay? So it gives you some tips on how you can make your sway more accessible, because keep in mind, someone who may have low vision or be suffering from the condition of color blindness, it's best to use black font over a white background, or stick to black and white, since it's difficult to distinguish different colors when you are colorblind. Shear. So if I wanted to, I could shear this way. I can get the visual link and send it. If I have social media, I can get the embed code and I could share this link in a Twitter feed or Facebook. I can click up here and I could share this way specifically with people or groups. So I'm gonna share this with Vanessa. Okay, and let me type Vanessa's name, and we see Vanessa comes up. I'm gonna select Vanessa, and then I'm going to invite her. So before I invite her to this sway, I can click on either selecting whether Vanessa can view this or if she can edit it. So I'm gonna select edit, and then I'm gonna invite Vanessa. And it says one person now has access to the sway, and I'm gonna click OK. I'm gonna go back to my sway, and this is the home page. And now I'm gonna show you another way to create a sway. And this is start from a document. This is a document that you already have created. Okay. And so I'm going to click on this PDF, Remote Work Best Practices. I'm going to select open. And it takes a few moments because Sway is translating this PDF into Sway. Okay. So this is the storyline, okay? And I'm going to click play so you can see how Sway has imported that PDF and translated it for me. Click play, okay? And gonna scroll down to continue playing it for you. Okay, I'll continue to scroll down. Okay. Now, if I didn't like the way this came out, I can always go up at the top, click on edit. I can go to design and I can go to styles, and I could change the layout. I can change it, instead of being vertical, I could say horizontal. And if I want to do a preview, I can look here. Okay. And what I can also do is I can do the remix. And the remix, again, is Sway's built-in way to create a Sway, a little different mix. So I'm gonna say remix. Okay, so with this remix, it's changed not only the background texture, but also the color. So let's take a look at the full Sway. Okay, and maybe you might like this look a little bit better. So again, it's up to you on how you would like to design and style your Sway. Okay, and again, you can either click escape or you can click Sway, and it comes back to your original home screen. So at this moment, since we have about 5 minutes left, if anyone has definitely any questions or comments coming in, Vanessa?
I haven't seen any, but again, if you have questions for Sharice, just hit the chat button at the bottom of your window and just write your question in there. Make sure it says to everyone so that we can all see it. And then we can respond to any questions you have for the next 5 minutes.
And again, if there's any questions about showing how to create a sway, again, I can go over that and any other questions that anyone may have. And this is just a fun tool that you can use. You have PowerPoint out there, you have Keynote. There's so many different presentation tools. So Sway can be used in a number of ways. So I'm just going to show you scrolling down. Okay, let's see. This is if you wanted to choose from a template. You can even choose from a template. And the template is already pre-populated. Let me just click on that. And so let me just show you with this pre-populated one. This can be good if you were creating your own newsletter and just scrolling down. And so this is just to give you an idea of how you can set up the layout for your newsletter. And again, I'll click on escape and then let me just click on escape again. For some reason, let me just see. Sometimes it's a little slow. So this was a template for a newsletter. So you can swap out definitely the picture if you were building your newsletter. You can delete that slide or that card. Okay. And you can add another card, and I'll just say image, and I'll just put newsletter just for this example. Okay, so I'm just gonna, just for this example, just slide that in there. I'm gonna click again to add another image. I'm just gonna, for this example, slide that in there. Now, if you are not satisfied with the sequential order, you can always take and grab. Let me just grab it here. Oops. And you can switch the order. Let me grab it again.
Hey, Sharice, it looks like, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It looks like the chat was disabled in the settings, but I did get a few questions in
Oh,
email, if you don't mind. One of them, someone asked, does WCM have a branded sway layout? The answer is no. That was from Daisy. We don't have a WCM branded layout, but you can use, the logos to input in the image placeholders that Sharice was showing you. And then Sharice, someone had, how can I get authorization to access sway?
okay. So if when you go to sign into your Office 365 account, okay, if you do not see Sway coming up as one of your apps, what you can do is, let me just move this down a little. I'm going to sign into ITS. I'm going to go to get help. Okay, my help desk. Okay, and let me continue to scroll down to WCM, my help desk. It's prompting me to sign in, so I'm going to sign in. And it'll just take a few moments. Okay, so at my help desk, what you can do is request something, okay? And when you click on request something, and it's taking, I guess, a few moments, okay, you will need to fill out an official request to get Microsoft Sway. So you actually have to fill out for requesting something. Whoops. And another category is browse by categories, but I know from searching that definitely setting up uh, a Microsoft Sway account is not part of the IT service catalog. So you would need to put in a request to put in to have this application
I think it's
added
general
to
IT request.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, if you guys have questions, if some of you have been emailing me, or if you're on Teams, you can message Vanessa Puig, since the chat is disabled, and I'm trying to enable it.
But definitely keep the questions coming in. I know for some reason the chat seems to be disabled, and Vanessa's working on that part, but definitely feel free to reach out to me at sbrown@med.cornell.edu. And again, here's my email contact information, sbrown@med.cornell.edu, if you want to definitely follow up on how you can get Microsoft Office Sway, or if you have any specific questions. So that just about wraps up uh, our session for today. Thank you for attending this session, and we look forward to having you again next week. And Vanessa will be presenting, and the topic is to be announced. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.